So today's video, we're going to talk about landing page builders. Tools like Unbounce, ClickFunnels, there's Instapage, there's other tools out there like those, which the general premise of is to make what they call quote-unquote landing pages for mostly paid ad campaigns, but they could be for, your offline marketing that you're using to drive people online with, but mostly Google ad campaigns, Facebook ad campaigns, of course. So this video, me being a 15-year veteran ad PPC ad expert running online advertising, I'm going to talk about what the relevance is of using a landing page, first of all, and also a landing page builder. If you know for sure obviously the benefits of using a landing page in a PPC campaign, which is huge all in itself. Should you use those specifically Unbounce or ClickFunnels or a tool like that? And which ones are the best for your PPC landing pages to get you the best results, and just ultimately what's the least hassle to work with, and so on and so forth. So anyway, is a tool like Unbounce or ClickFunnels worth it to use for my PPC campaigns? I have a short list of things here that I'll go through that I find that I've learned over the last 15 years trying many of these different landing page tools out, and just what I found on my own, what works the best, and things to consider. First on that list is, of course, asking yourself, do you actually want to use a landing page builder all in itself or not? Obviously, or if you didn't already know, your options are you can make a landing page totally in HTML or web code and put directly onto your server, hosting it on your server itself, your web hosting in other words, and drive people to your self-hosted landing page instead of using the landing page builder tool, which you're hosting it on their server actually. Now, of course, your landing page, if you use a builder like Unbounce, like ClickFunnels, it's hosted on the Unbounce and ClickFunnels server or Instapage server, but through DNS, it looks like it's on your site, even though users are really going to their server. The URL it'll be like info.guaranteedppc.com with info subdomain being where your landing pages are. Or if you use WordPress and you use Unbounce specifically, like I do, it can be on the subpage, guaranteedppc.com/landing page there, like it really is a part of your server. So there is no necessary drawback to using it. If you hate using subdomains, you can use Unbounce. What is the best thing between these two tools? And so, first of all, the first thing to consider is the speed of which you can, not so much the speed of the page loading, which could be a factor, of course. If your site coding is not up to standard, you can use a landing page builder and speed up what you're going to have for a landing page in terms of the load time. The load time affects conversion rates. And the whole point of a landing page, as you know, is high conversion rates. But I'm specifically talking about here that the speed of implementation of making not only the initial page, which I have second on my list here, requires no coding. It's a drag and drop interface. You don't need a coder. It's cheaper to do. A designer can do it themselves, which cuts out a step. But more so, what's more important, the bigger thing, if you're using it like a true pro would, you get most of the results out of these tools and why you do it in the first place, or just make landing pages in the first place. Since in 2021, this is the type of stuff PPC is for. You need to actually go beyond what your competition is doing if you're really going to make a lot of money. Everybody knows PPC works. It's just a matter of who's going to be willing to put in the most time and knows this stuff, of course, as well. You got to have both of those things down. But what I like to do is make landing pages for each category of service or product that we offer, so that people get to a nice customized page. If you offer restoration services and you do mold removal, you want to send people to a mold removal page. If you have products and you sell, paint products, and you have a paint product for, painting, outside your house versus inside, you should send people to the inside of the house paint products, which then can push people to individual products, of course, but if they're typing in for interior paint, people that get to a page that's got have interior paint products on it solely by itself will convert much better than if you group everything all together in one landing page for all your campaigns. And you can make copies of a landing page with the landing page tool very easily. Just click clone, give a mirror copy of what you had. In the scenario that I just described where you're going to make a landing page for each of your services or products, you can simply swap out the image, use the same layout and the custom template you have designed there, and then you're done. The same thing actually can be done with a custom page, of course. You can copy and paste a page on your server, so there really is no necessary drawback there. But then again, to make you're going to swap out the way that I described that I use my pages to get the maximum conversion rates you can. Which if you're going to spend 10 grand a month on ads, why wouldn't you be doing this little stuff that's going to literally double the conversion rate you're going to get on your page? Swapping out the images and so forth on the page may not be nearly as easy when you have to manipulate web code. So if you're going to do it 100 times for a business like I often would, for our business and also other clients, we eat our own dog food too, that it may be certainly easier with a landing page builder to do that with. And of course, the other thing is the landing page tool, since you're hosting your landing pages offsite, that's going to physically isolate them from the rest of your site. So if you have a hack, if you have malicious code put on your site that will cause your campaign, or that will harm your site, Google will shut off your ads and will not let you run the ads. But if you have everything on a landing page off-site, you're safe. And obviously, if you have your ads down for too long, it affects your results because the algorithm likes to see your ads have momentum, and that's going to not only help hurt your sales, but get time that your ads are not running that you would normally get, but then also it's going to take time to get traction again. Not only that, a common scenario I've seen this multiple times. I have no idea why some of these web companies anymore are just so terrible, it's criminal. They'll come in and suggest a client to update their site. They may not even tell them about, this is a side topic. They won't even tell them about the SEO aspects of redesigning their site, doing redirects. They'll lose all their organic and boom, 3 months later they're out of business. But more so than that, so many times we'll have landing pages and we're setting up custom pages on their site, on their server. The person will come in and just overwrite all those pages. 5 times it has to be at least in the last 3 years that's happened with people upgrading the site, since obviously every 3 years or so people upgrade their site. Why aren't these consultants telling the client, we have to scan the whole site and make sure we get all the pages? They don't see the pages in the main navigation, so then they overwrite them. And then we find out 2 weeks later, why are the numbers not good? Oh, crap. The guy just overwrote everything and was like, oh, I didn't know they were there. So if you want to avoid a situation like that, you can use a landing page tool. It isolates and it basically locks in the results that you're getting from your campaigns, so that a mishap with people that normally manage your site won't affect your PPC campaigns, and that your PPC person just has to worry about what he's got, not the whole site. And it creates a bigger, wider liability issue for you. So there's some scenarios of what you want to avoid and what you can use that for. If you do use custom pages, make sure if you're going to upgrade your site that you remember. Okay. Anyway, the next thing on my list here is if you're going to use a landing page tool. So as I mentioned before, with Unbounce, I'm going to explain which one to use particularly. Me myself, I've mostly used Unbounce and ClickFunnels in the past. Instapage is still a good tool. That I'm not going to specifically talk so much about that one on this video. Unbounce I like the most of because it provides the ease of use, making the pages and the most attractive designs in terms of the capability of how to make the pages. Personally, I like it. More so than that, most people use WordPress nowadays, and they have a plugin for WordPress that, like I was saying earlier in the video, that you can, instead of having the page show up in the subdomain of your site, it can be in the subpage. And so, because it affects your trust, if people see that the page is on a subdomain, they may not want to go there. They might inherently know, or just from prior experience without mentally registering it, that this is a sales page. instead of another page on your website. Even though you don't have to put that in the main navigation of your site, they can actually look like a subpage, and you're going to get the maximum conversion rate you can because it looks like an informational page on your site, even though it's meant there to sell people. It is a factor, a noticeable factor for some businesses. We're not talking about double digits, but it could, 5% even. That's obviously 5% here, 5% there. Anyway, between these two tools, because there are situations where ClickFunnels is better, particularly if you have multi-step funnel. So when I say multi-step, I'm not just talking about a 2 or 3 step form where you would, enter in your email and phone and then click submit, and then you go to step 2 and then ask for your address and so on and so forth to get all the information from the user that you want. But more so with that, I'm talking about if the user has to get to the page and then opt in, and then later on, after that, it's going to take them to another page, which is going to have something else, and then they got to opt into that. And so there's multiple little stages to individually get a person from where they're initially starting out to a big upsell, if you will. ClickFunnels is great for that. That's really what it was designed for. Apart from that, you can also do e-commerce checkout functionality as a part of the landing pages, so it can be really a site in itself. So if you want to sell on it, you can use that. Whereas Unbounce is not so much about that. Unbounce is more so about traditional PPC campaigns where you just, they're looking for plumbing services. There's that on the page itself that you're taking people to. They convert right there on the spot, or they don't. Of course, you may have another campaign that tries to get them to upgrade to a monthly plumbing service or whatever, but not so much talking about that. That's a separate campaign. It's not all tied in together. So that's the reason why I normally would use ClickFunnels versus Unbounce, whereas simple landing pages for most PPC campaigns, I'm using Unbounce personally. And anymore, I'm using Unbounce about 80% of the time over custom pages. The only time I'm using custom pages really is when the client says that they prefer it on their main site because of whatever logistical reasons that they have. Me personally, there's no drawback. It is actually all benefits for me using Unbounce. Quicker, easier to use, less likely to get overwritten, probably loads faster than the client site in a lot of cases, can make pages faster, and so I'm using it. Yes, and then with that, a lot of times I'm making campaigns with 500 landing pages, and so the little bit of time that it takes that we're saving on each one, and I know that sounds insane, but we get insane conversion rates here. I'm not just plugging my own services here and my own efforts and abilities, but it's PPC is war again, and you have to do more than what anybody else is willing to do if you're going to kick their butt at what you're trying to do. You got to be wanting to not just show up and say, hey, okay, I think I did what I need to do here. You got to want to just crush your competition to a fine dust if you're going to do really well with PPC, and to where you're going to get that 8 to 10 to 1 return on your ads consistently, where you're going to be able to scale up your campaign, spend 50 grand a month and generate 700 grand a month in that sales, and build everything up to that. You have to be going with that kind of mindset. Anyway, the next thing on my list here that you should know as well, in terms of making stock versus your own custom templates. So basically, the landing page builders, they do have their own templates. Don't use those. You can use them as a general guideline. At the very least, have to customize those. And for the most part, different landing page templates out there that you can find, these are not made by conversion experts. People that know how to make landing pages well, that convert like crazy, don't make their money by selling people templates. They just don't. You can take my word for it. You've got to find somebody who understands consumer psychology, like I do, and has set up many, many, many pages in the past to get you a page, so that you can get conversion rates approaching 30-40% on your landing page, which can be done if you're just insane about it. So I don't ever use the stock templates. That said, you could have certainly, like I said, a template that works for your business, and then you can just reuse most of it over and over again. That you can do. So don't use the stock templates. And the last thing on the list about landing page builders that you should know is the results with the landing pages, like what can you expect? So first of all, as I mentioned, I've gotten conversion rates upwards of 40% on a local service landing page before. We're beating standard industry conversion rates by 3, 4, 5 X from standard conversion rates routinely with just these landing pages, but also because I go a bit further with not only the design and knowing that design, and I have other videos that talk about how to make a good landing page, but like I was saying earlier in the video, for whether it's a service or a product, I'm having a page that's dedicated to what the user was searching for on that page. So if we offer 5 things, 5 categories of things, I'm making a landing page for each category of thing. And just when the person gets to the page, they instantly know where they're at, that you offer what they have. Otherwise, anything that makes them think, there's a book called Don't Make Me Think. You want to understand how to make a good landing page or a good website that converts, read that book. You want to make it as less energy intensive brain power wise for the user as you possibly can to get your super high conversion rates. So I make a page for the first category of products or services we have, and then we copy it and then make a version for each one of those, and we know we got something that works well. But just having that versus one landing page for everything, instead, going from having 1 page versus 5 pages for all your different categories, roughly you're going to get 100% increase in leads or sales just by doing that one little action. The other thing is headlines. A lot of people will, so first of all, I'm sure maybe you've heard of it, maybe you have not, that there's tools like with these Unbounce and ClickFunnels where they'll try to take the keyword from your campaign that the user typed in and put that into the headline dynamically through scripting. Garbage. Sometimes it can work better than nothing or not using it, but for the most part, software sucks. Spend the time and manually create, even if you have 500 keywords, make 500 pages, make the headline handwritten for each one, which is good, just good copywriting principles. If software could write good copy, we wouldn't have people that charge $100,000 for a sales letter or whatever, a landing page that are at the very top of the market for no reason. Part of that is the most important part of your copy on your landing page that gets it to convert is the headline. And specifically what you want to do routinely to get that 30+% conversion rate. Consumers type in red apples, they want to see an ad that says red apples, not apples for sale, for instance. They want to get to a landing page, right in the headline, it says red apples. Or if they type in red apples for sale, they should say nothing else but red apples for sale. That should be the same for every single keyword you bid on. You do that, one little thing, we're talking about 40% more sales from the same exact ad spend. You work hard every day to deliver the products and services you have. Why the heck are you not going to just do this one little thing and make maybe instead of 6-to-1 and 8-to-1 return on your labor and time and effort of all the time you're putting in to just serve your customers or your market? Make it 0 cents. 500 headlines, what are you, crazy? Okay, takes a couple hundred hours. Makes you $1 million a year more. Can I say more? So, do these things, okay? Apart from that, going back to, and just to wrap all of this up, get with the 2021 standards. Ultimately, it's only going to get, well, to a degree, harder to make things work. If you're in a space where people can see what you're doing and it looks like it's working, they're going to try to come in. It might push prices up. The prices up, if it's already fairly competitive out there in your market, probably have to do all this stuff to make the really good money anyway. If you just try to do what everybody else is doing, you're probably not going to make very much or very little. You're going to work hard for your money. If you actually are one of those people that think that, because Google, when you sign up for an ad account, you can spend 20 minutes and you're done, you probably aren't going to make any money. Unless you're in a market that people are buying stuff basically like it's crack. You might be able to make money in that scenario. For everybody else, no. So put the time and effort into it, and it is by far worth it. Yes, you're going to have a few hundred hours building up your account, but it's going to generate year after year millions of dollars of revenue and potentially millions of profit as well, just for a standard micro niche business. Seen it over and over again being done. If you take the time to diligently serve your users, so when they type your stuff in your market, you're making it easier for them than anybody else to find out that you're the best option and to buy from you with as less energy and effort as possible. So anyway, hopefully you like this video. Certainly you can check out my other videos. I have a lot of other money-making PPC strategies on this channel. Try to come out with a video every day. You can check out Garrett'sPPC.com. I have also a blog there with money-making PPC strategies that you're not going to find anywhere else online, that comes from a 15-year veteran who has worked on over 300 PPC accounts and put this material together for you. So hope you enjoyed, and let me know how things have worked for you in the comment section if you do try some of these strategies out for yourself.